Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I'll be giving you guys a weight update on Deebo Samuel, also talking about how he kind of sounded off on some critics yesterday on Twitter, also talk about Davante Adams, who just got released, and if he is a possibility for the Washington Commanders in free agency. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well so you never miss a video. All those things are free. It takes 1 second. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's get to 16K before the draft. All right, so yesterday Deebo Samuel went on Twitter. He quote tweeted a tweet from Coach Yak. Says Matt Barrow's got confirmation on the report about Deebo being 20 pounds overweight last year. I'm not going to say the number, but I asked what was Deebo's high point weight-wise last season. That meshes what you said a couple weeks ago. Got really high, and there have been reasons for that. Not able to work out because of pneumonia, not being able to work out because of injuries, but that's a concern. I think the 49ers had that concern the minute he showed up in Santa Clara, and it never fully went away. And then he said he's 225 is what I think he said the high point was of last year. He's obviously going to try to get lower than that. At least that's what I got from that. Seemed a little bit confusing, but I guess he was saying he was 225 to be exact, and he's kind of using that not as necessarily as an excuse, but it is a valid excuse, I guess, as a reason why he wasn't that good last year, because of the pneumonia and the other injuries where he couldn't really fully work out. And some guys, when they don't work out, they lose weight, and then some guys, they gain weight in that scenario. Like some of these guys need to work out to be able to maintain or lose weight. And I guess Deebo needed to work out, and that's part of the reason why he gained weight. But he said, can't wait till the season start, fresh start, new Bo. So he's talking about himself there, and I think he's going to be motivated this year. I really do think he's going to be motivated, and I think that's going to be good for the Commanders, a motivated Deebo Samuel. Are we going to get 2021 Deebo Samuel? I highly, highly doubt it. But I think we can get a mix of, maybe not 2024 Deebo Samuel, but like a 2023 type Deebo Samuel would be good. A guy that gets you over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. And, he's a good blocker. That's something that people need to, start talking about, is he's a good blocker, which is going to help out in this Commanders offense. Cliff Kingsbury, part of the reason they traded Jahan Dotson is because of his blocking, his really incapability to block really well. And Deebo is one of the best blocking receivers in the league, so he'll be able to block on screens for Terry McLaurin, which we've seen a lot of times where the receiver will miss the block and then it's a negative 1 yard total net on the play, or it's a gain of 0 on the play, and that just it really hurts the offense. So for Deebo, he's going to be able to block, and he's also going to be able to catch those screen, passes and run after catch. He gets a lot of yak. That's one of his strengths, is yards after catch. So with Deebo Samuel, that's one of the biggest things that people need to start talking about. That's going to be added to his offense, is his blocking ability and how it's going to help in the screen game. And then also, obviously, he is very good as a screen catcher and run after catch guy, and then also he makes some he's able to run the football as well. I don't know if that's going to happen a lot here, but they do have Anthony Lynn, who was his running backs coach in San Francisco, and he wasn't a running back per se, but he was in the meeting rooms with Anthony Lynn because he did take a significant amount of snaps each game at the running back position, like 3 carries a game. So that's just carries. He probably was in the backfield a bunch too, so he's got to know stuff, and he probably has a relationship with Anthony Lynn. I don't know if it's a good one or a bad one, but he definitely has a relationship with him, and I'm assuming it's a good one if they traded for him. And then Deebo Samuel. We don't need to talk about that much more about the fit. We know I've been talking about it ad nauseum for the last few days, but I think he's a good player. If he's in shape and he's motivated, I think this will be a really good trade for the Commanders, that they can either extend him after the year or they can let him walk and he can, get a big deal in free agency, and the Commanders will get a 3rd round comp pick. So they'll get him for essentially, they'll net a pick out of it, and also, let's say a 3rd or 4th round comp pick. They'll net a, pick out of it, and then also, they'll get a good year of service from him in Washington. Let's talk about, Davante Adams, who just got released. He's officially available, and last year had 85 catches, 1,063 yards, and 8 touchdowns. If we didn't trade for Deebo, I would have been okay with this, but at this point, I'm not really sure if I'm, big on, signing Davante Adams. Let me go ahead. We can pull up his stats, but the guy, he's been, on 3 different teams in the last year. The Raiders, and then the Jets, and then now Washington. And one of the things to keep in mind, he's probably going to want to play with Aaron Rodgers if it's a possibility and if he likes the fit. That's probably going to, there's a likely chance that happens. So that's one thing why I don't think he comes here. Another thing I saw, I think Ian Rapport or someone said that he really, the West Coast is a draw to him. Obviously, we don't play on the West Coast, so we're on the East Coast. So that's another reason. And then also, he said he doesn't want to go to a team. Like, I think it was mentioned him to the Commanders or something about Terry, and he was like, I'm going to have to get 17. That's not happening. Terry shouldn't give it up anyways. Should not give that number up. Devante is good, but at this point, Terry's better, I would say. And and he's been with the team for 6 years. There's no reason for Devante to get 17. He also, was talking crap about the Commanders fans, saying they have the worst fan base in the NFL and other stuff. So just a bunch of different reasons why I don't think it makes sense, but maybe they can, those things I do think they can move past it. If Davante Adams doesn't care about 17 and chooses a different number, that's fine. If they, if he ends up, not caring about I don't think the fan thing is a big issue. It's just a thing with Commanders fans that they're going to be upset about. But it's the number thing, which, if he's mature, that shouldn't matter. And then it's the West Coast and the Aaron Rodgers thing. I would be okay with it. But he is, 3 teams in 1 year for a reason. Like, that's just not a good sign. That's a red flag for sure. And then, the last couple years has been good, but is he worth that extra drama that you're going to have with him for 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns? I don't know. And is he going to get that with you in Washington? It would make our receiver room really good. I mean, Devante, Terry, and Deebo. So if it's cheap, I wouldn't mind it. I doubt he's going to be cheap. I highly doubt this move happens. I would say, very low chance that the Commanders are able to convince Devante to sign here. And also, I don't know if they even want Devante to come here. There's a bunch of different factors, but if he does come here, this receiver room would be really, really good. So that's why I'm not totally opposed to it. But there's other options as well that maybe you can get for cheaper in terms of a salary, because I don't know how much Davante Adams wants this year. He's probably going to want a decent amount, 15, 20 million. I don't know. If it's a 1-year deal, it might be a little bit less than what he would get for like a 3-4 year deal, just because of how it all works. Maybe, a highly incentivized deal, I could be with that. But yeah, I think you could go after another guy. I like Chris Godwin. You're not going to have to give up trade assets for him either. Darius Slade, I know a lot of people are hating on him, but I wouldn't mind that as your 3rd, 4th receiving option after you already got Deebo. Westbrook-Ikhine from the Titans, who got a bunch of touchdowns. He's another guy that they could use as a red zone threat. I mean, there's options that, besides just Davante Adams. If they want to go after him, that's fine. But I think right now they're chilling with Deebo and Terry as kind of the older-ish receivers. And then you can go after some younger guys, maybe in the draft and in free agency, to really, fill out that wide receiver room. Because right now they only got 3 guys under contract: Terry, Deebo, and Luke McCaffrey. But that is it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.